Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Honorable Professor Dr. Sri Indah Nikensari, SEMSE, as the Head of Economic Education Study Program, Honorable Professor Dr. Saparudin Muhtar, SEMSI, as the first advisor, Honorable Mr. Diki Iranto, SEMSE, as the second advisor. I am Inas Khairunisa from Economic Education 2018. And here I want to present you about my research proposal. And I want to open the PowerPoint first. I want to present you about the influence of soybean production, imported soybean price, and exchange rates on Indonesian soybean imports in 2011 until 2020. Here we have preliminary, literature review, research method, result, and conclusion. First, background. Indonesia is the 11th largest soybean consuming country in the world at 3 million tons after China, America, Argentina, and Brazil. The increasing demand for soybeans in the country is caused by the increasing population and demand for soybeans. However, it's not balanced with soybean reserve that can be produced by farmer. So imports are the solutions. Indonesia's position as an exporter of soybeans has also changed to an importer of soybeans since 1975 due to the rapid increase in demand for soybeans, while soybean production has slowed down. In here, based on the data from Ministry of Agriculture 2019, the national soybean demand in 2017 reached 2.2 million tons per year. However, based on the data from the Central Statistic Agency, it is known that the average domestic soybean production is only 880 tons per year. And there are three factors affecting soybean food product. Unstable food production from FAO and World Bank. First, uncertain climatic condition. And then second, there is a decrease in the enthusiasm of farmers in growing soybeans. And the last one is lower quality of local soybeans at a higher price than imported soybeans. In here, we can see the price of imported soybeans also affect import. Based on the graph above, it can be seen that the price of local soybeans is more expensive than imported soybeans, ranging from 8,500 until 10,500 per kilograms. Meanwhile, the price of imported soybeans are in 7,500 until 9,500 per kilograms. And then the third factor that affect import is the exchange rate can also plays a role in imports. Based on the graph below, the US middle rate against the rupiah in 2011 until 2020 experienced fluctuation that tended to strengthen. Theoretically, with the strengthening of rupiah's exchange rate, the price of imported soybeans tends to decrease because the price is getting cheaper. But the price of imported soybeans, which tends to decrease, will suppress local soybean price, causing soybean farmers to suffer losses. And here we have three problem questions. Is there any effect of soybean production? And then, is there any effects of imported soybean prices? And then the last one is there any influence of Indonesian exchange rate on Indonesian soybean imports in 2011 until 2020? And then we have three research purposes. First, to determine the effect of soybean production, and then the effect of imported soybean prices, and then the last one is the effects of exchange rate on Indonesian soybean imports in 2011 until 2020. Then we have the benefit of research. First, theoretical benefits. This research is expected to add insight into the factors that affect soybean imports in Indonesia and the amount and can overcome problems related to soybean production, imported soybean price, and exchange rate against Indonesian soybean imports in 2011 until 2020. And then we have 3 practical benefits for students, for readers, and for the governments. Then we move to the supporting theory. First, the international trade. International trade is a trading activity carried out by the residents of country with residents of other countries on the basis of a mutual agreement. And then international trade is divided into 2, which is export and import. And here we use the proportional factor theory of Hexer-Ohlin theory. The HO theory assumes that a country will export goods that have abundant factor production intensively. The endowment factors differences in the proportion of production factors owned by the 2 countries referred to the HO theory include natural resources, human resources, and capital. And then the HO theory used 2 curves in its analysis, namely isocost curve and isoquant curve. In accordance with the concept of the point of tangency between isocost and isoquant, each country will tend to produce certain goods with the most optimal combination of production factors in accordance with the structure or proportion of the factor of production it has. And then we have the production theory. Production is an activity that aims to add the value of an item because an item will have use value if the item can provide more benefits than before. And then we use comparative advantage theory by David Ricardo. This theory is based on the existence of valid comparative advantage and can be explained through the definition of opportunity cost, stated that the value of a commodity can be calculated by the amount of time it takes to produce an item. So the value that will be generated by each worker will be different, even if using the same time duration. Based on the table, besides, it can be concluded that in one day, US can produce hundreds of kilo soybeans, while Indonesia only able to produce thousands of kilo soybeans. So comparatively, it would be more profitable for US to produce soybeans. Then we have the theory of price. Price can also be interpreted as the amount of currency that must be submitted in exchange rate for an item. According to Alfred Marshall, prices are formed as an integration of 2 market forces, namely supply from the producer and demand from the consumer. The price can be determined by the market mechanism, where the determination of the price is largely determined by the demand and supply of the goods. And then we have demand supply theory. In the economy, price act as regulator of or elements that regulate the quantity of goods that demanded and offered. Conditions of excess demand or condition of shortage of the number of goods offered can push prices up. Then the condition of excess supply will push prices down. In the end, the price as its equilibrium point. And then we have the exchange rate. The exchange rate is the price of a country's currency in relation to other countries' currency. The exchange rate of country's currency consists of the nominal exchange rate and the real exchange rate. The real exchange rate between 2 countries' currency can be calculated by the following formula. REER, or real effective exchange rate, is ER, or exchange rate in nominal, multiple FP, or foreign price, per domestic price. In other words, a low REER causes domestic people to buy only a few imported goods, while high REER will make domestic people buy more imported goods. In here we have some previous research from Hermawan and Prawoto, and then Putra and Sukadana, and then Buana and Rusdiarti, and Zikri, Safrida, and Susanti. In here we have hypothesis. First, there is negative and significant effect between soybean production and Indonesian soybean imports in 2011 until 2020. Then there is negative significant effect between the price of imported soybean on Indonesian soybean import in 2011 until 2020. And the last one is there is positive and significant effect between the exchange rate on Indonesian soybean import in 2011 until 2020. And then we use the type of research is quantitative. Object of the research is soybean production, imported soybean price, exchange rate, and soybean imports. The data used is secondary data from the year 2011. and then 2000 until 2020. The data source is from BPS, Bank of Indonesia, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Trade, U.S. Department of Agriculture, and National Agriculture Statistics Service. Research use multiple linear regression or ordinary least square using software IFUS9. The research method using two tests yang first, classic assumption test. We use normality test, multicollinearity test, heteroscedasticity test or white test, and then autocorrelation test from Durbin-Watson test. Hypothesis, and then we move to the hypothesis test. First, we can see the coefficient of determination of R square, and then T test, and then F test. Then the description of the data. First, there are a graph of soybean import development from 2011 until 2020. The graph beside explains that there have been fluctuation in soybean import from 2011 until 2020. After pandemic began, soybean import tended to decline because due to restriction of soybean entering Indonesia and rising soybean prices from exporter. And then soybean production. The graph beside showed that there is a fluctuation in soybean production, which tend to decrease per year 2011 until 2020, caused by various factors, such as instability of natural condition, declining interest of farmer to grow soybean, and competitiveness of local soybean, which is far below imported soybean. And then the imported soybean price. The graph beside shows that there was a decline and increased the price of imported soybean in Indonesia. But after the pandemic, it's continued to decline. Then the exchange rate. The graph beside shows that there were fluctuation in the exchange rate, which tended to strengthen. Next, we move to the result. First, classic assumption test. In the normality test, the output result in the picture beside show that the Jark-Barrel P value of 1.300830 is bigger than 0.05. Thus, HO is accepted. This is means that the model is normally distributed. Then we move to the multicollinearity test. The output result in the table beside show that the centered value of each independent variable is less than 10. This means that the model is free from multicollinearity symptoms. Then the heteroscedasticity using white test. Based on the DF2 value, the chi-square table value is 54.57228. The result is calculated chi-square value 36.11212 is less than chi-square table of the value of 39 is 55.57228. So the conclusion is the model is free from heteroscedasticity. Then the autocorrelation test using Durbin-Watson test. The output result of the table beside show that Durbin-Watson coefficient value is 0.122 for 9-6. The value is between -2 and 2. It can be concluded that the model is free from autocorrelation symptom. The regression equation is y 1544211 minus 0.723343 x1 minus 73.02311 x2 plus 157.407876 x3 plus error. And then we move to the hypothesis test. First, t-test. The testing of hypothesis 1 from the t-count value minus 3.34 is bigger than t-table minus 1.684 with the probability value is less than 0.05. This means that the the soybean production variable partially has a significant and negative effect on soybean import. Then the testing of hypothesis 2, T count value is minus 2.49 is bigger than T table, minus 1.68, with the probability value is less than 0.05. It means that imported soybean price has partially significant negative effect on soybean import. And then testing of hypothesis 3, the T count value is 4.60 is bigger than T table, minus 1.68, with the probability value less than 0.05, which means the exchange rate variable partially has a significant and positive effect on soybean import. The result of hypothesis test. The t-test from the F count is 28.5 is bigger than F table 2.87 from the T table. It means that all of the independence variable has a significant effect on Indonesian soybean imports. And then we see to the determination coefficient, or R squared. The R squared value is 0.7037. It can be stated that all independent variables are able to explain the diversity of values in the soybean import variable by 70%, while the remaining 30% explained by other variables outside of the model. The effect of soybean production on soybean import. Based on the result of research, it's known that soybean production has a significant negative effect on soybean import. The results is according with David Ricardo theory. Regarding value of commodity can be calculated by the amount of time it takes to produce a good, so that both countries can still carry out international trade by looking at the opportunity cost of producing goods, which are comparatively superior. This in line with the research conducted by Ningrum 2080, which shows that soybean production has significant negative effect on soybean import and has smaller percentage change compared to soybean import, so that if production increase, it will reduce import. And then the effect of imported soybean price on soybean import. Based on the research, it is known that imported soybean price has a negative significant effect on import, according to the law of supply and demand. In line with the research conducted by Nur Mahdi and Suharno 2019, which showed on the result of imported soybean price has negative but not significant effect on soybean import. And then the exchange rate effect of exchange rate on soybean import, which has a significant positive effect on soybean import. According with the Mandel-Fleming theory, which explained there are negative relationship between the exchange rate and export, despite 2 with the curve with positive slope. In higher real exchange rate indicates the depression of weakening rupiah exchange rate causing import of increase and real exchange rate strengthen appreciation, it will cause import to decline. The result is supported by research conducted by Richard and Mediawati 2015, which state that US dollar exchange rate has a significant positive effect on import because the increasing dollar exchange rate due to the unstable economic situation cause domestic industries to be vulnerable to bankrupt. The conclusion is, based on the data analysis, it can be conducted that soybean production partially has a significant negative effect on Indonesian soybean import. And then imported soybean price has a significant negative effect on Indonesian soybean import. And then exchange rate has a significant positive effect on Indonesian soybean import. And then we have practical implication. And then the research limitation, it's the study only takes sample until 2020 and cannot continue until 2022 because the data is not yet available. In addition, the study only used 3 independent variables. Thus, the study can only provide information on how much influence three factors have on Indonesian soybean import. Meanwhile, the influence of other factors not examined in the study is still not known in the detail. Therefore, further research is needed by using newer research year and the factors that are more varied in continuing further research. And the recommendation for further research, it is hoped that further researchers will explore theories and other factors that can affect Indonesian soybean imports in addition to the three factors that have been studied in the study. In addition, it is also hoped that future researchers will extend the duration of the research sample to better reflect the development of Indonesian soybean imports in more detail. Thank you.